on the front line. The Commissioner of Police is grateful to the men and women who report to duty every day, notwithstanding the risks involved. In anticipating what lies ahead for 2021, Commissioner Williams reflects on the work that is presently before them.
I'd like to start off by saying a big thank you to the men and women of the Belize Police Department. I know that the year 2020 has been a very challenging year for us, and as we approaches the end of this year and looking forward to welcome 2021, our challenges still remain. And while some might say that next year is going to be better, there is no guarantee that next year is going to be better. And so I want to make it known to the police officers that regardless of how challenging the times may be, that there is always that silver lining ahead of us. It's just a matter for us to ensure that we search and we are going to find it. Yes, at times it is more difficult to find than other times, but we must search deeply to ensure that we see that silver lining. And I think the silver lining in this case is to be assured that COVID-19 will come to an end, whether it's next year or the year after. But we believe that with the advent of the vaccines that we're now seeing being approved by WHO, that it should give some relief to the world, which include Belize. But in the meantime, we must continue to do our utmost best to ensure that we discharge our duties to the best of our ability, despite the challenges that we are confronted with by way of COVID-19. As a police department, we have been resilient in terms of ensuring that the public that we serve continue to get that level of support and service that they deserve from us. A number of our officers have fallen ill to the COVID-19 virus, and it has left us significantly short of our human resources. But the officers who remain on duty continue to ensure that despite our shortage, that we do our best to ensure that our people are safe. And that really and truly for me means a lot.
There has been widespread speculation that strict measures will be imposed in the days ahead to stem the spread of the novel coronavirus in Belize. While that has not been confirmed, we do know that the Briceño administration has postponed Friday's planned sitting of the House of Representatives and that a press conference will instead be held on that day on the COVID-19 strategy going forward. Earlier today, we were with the Minister of Tourism and asked him about the call for a nationwide lockdown by CEO Kennedy Carrillo of the Ministry of Blue Economy. On her social media page over the weekend, Carrillo posted that with the spike in COVID-19 numbers and related deaths, there is a need to stop the spread of the virus. But a lockdown is a tough decision to make, given the already fragile economic state of the country in the wake of the previous lockdown earlier this year. Minister Anthony Moller says that with advice from health experts, the government will make a decision whether or not to impose a nationwide lockdown.
We will have a press conference on Friday, but I will listen to the experts. If a lockdown is required, then from a health standpoint, yes, it's going to have some deleterious effects on the economy because we're already 9-10 months into COVID. I saw a report the other day that China is already operating at 90% of where they used to be, but that 10% has been so crippling for many small and medium enterprises. And so for the reality here in Belize that we're operating at about 10 to 15% of where we were last year. And so you have 90% that needs to come back for us to be where we were. And so it is crucial. There are a lot of businesses, there are a lot of people out of work, there are a lot of businesses on the brink of shutting their doors. And so it is a crucial time. We have to look at the situation as a whole. We have to look at the health issues and we have to look at the economic issues. And so we have to be a responsible government. But if the health professionals with data tell us that there needs to be a lockdown, then we will consider it as a government.
If you're planning to have a party or a gathering of friends at your residence in the days ahead, perhaps it's best to think twice about that idea. The Belize Police Department is launching its COVID-19 hotlines. The general public is asked to call and report anyone hosting a party, other social events, or persons not adhering to other COVID-19 protocols. The numbers are 0800 parties or 0800 727 8432 for both BTL and smart users. These numbers will be monitored on a 24-hour basis. The release ends by saying, quote, "As we battle the enormity of COVID-19 pandemic, the public is reminded to adhere to all the protocols put in place to reduce the spread of this deadly virus," unquote. Coming up, the Minister of Tourism and the Chargé d'Affaires discuss the CDC's travel advisory on Belize.
Welcome to Belize Healthcare Partners Limited, where the health and wellness of the youngest members of your family are important to us.
We are offering here all the care of the babies, newborns, adolescents, toddlers. We also have a neonatal area in case a baby needs a NICU. We have an ICU area for pediatric patients, offering treatment for asthma or patients after a surgery or any other emergency that the kids have. We have an emergency with all the equipment and all the nurses, specialists for the babies and the kids.
For child-friendly pediatric and neonatal care, call us at 223-7870 today.
Belize Healthcare Partners Limited, your leader in healthcare.
60 seconds. Benny's in 60 seconds.
Hey Belize, Benny's Deal Alert season is here, and we have some great deals for you.
Deals, deals, and more deals. From now up until December 31st, enjoy Deal Alert discounts on our line of paints such as BH paints, Texturelight paints, and Tropical Colors paints. Deal Alert markdowns will also be applied on a wide selection of tiles, lights and fans, tools, appliances, and much more.
And remember, whenever you make a purchase, you get double tickets to enter our cash giveaway draw on December 19th to win $10,000.
That's right, it's a Deal Alert. It's a Benny's Deal Alert. So shop now, get great deals and your tickets for the chance to win the $10,000 grand prize only at Benny's.
Benny's in 60 seconds.
Ese dinero es falso.
¿Falso? Sí, este billete es falso.
¿Y por qué es falso?
Porque un verdadero billete de $50 tiene una marca de agua en la forma de un jaguar con la marca de agua y electrotipia de denominación y un hilo de seguridad.
Conozca su dinero. Reconozca el billete falso al verlo. No se confíe en solo una de las características de seguridad. Busque la claridad y calidad de la impresión. Las líneas y el color impresos deben ser nítidas y claras. Sienta la calidad del papel y de la impresión levantada. Ponga el billete a la luz y observe. El hilo de seguridad avantanillada debe formar una línea completa cuando se pone a la luz. La marca de agua y la electrotipia de denominación, el Jaguar, es la marca de agua en los billetes de $100 y $50. El gigante dormido es la marca de agua en los billetes de 20, 10, 5 y $2. El registro perfecto. Las partes del diseño impreso en la parte posterior deben caber exactamente dentro de las áreas sin imprimir en el frente del billete para formar el diseño completo. Revise los billetes de $100 para saber si está el holograma del tucán con la impresión sobrepuesta de la flor de vinca per vinca. Inclínelo para ver las imágenes pequeñas del tucán y el numeral 100. Revise los billetes de $50 para saber si está la imagen del pez ángel en color verde plateado. Mira más cerca. Utilice luz ultravioleta para ver los elementos fluorescentes. Utilice una lupa para ver las letras más pequeñas que leen Central Bank of Belize y el valor del billete. Detenga la circulación de los billetes beliceños falsos. Pasa todas las falsificaciones a la policía inmediatamente. Es una ofensa criminal guardar o utilizar falsificaciones. Esté a salvo, esté seguro. Conozca su dinero.
Make your Christmas bright this year with a quick and easy loan from QuickStop in December and make no payments until January. Visit your nearest QuickStop branch or apply online at quickstoponline.com. Offer ends December 31st. QuickStop Personal Finance Center. No hassle loans.
The Center for Disease Control, better known as the CDC, recently placed Belize at a level 4. In a travel notice on its official website, the CDC says that travelers should avoid all travel to Belize because it may, quote, increase your chances of getting and spreading COVID-19, unquote. The designation flies in the face of efforts to resuscitate the tourism industry, which had been shattered by the COVID-19 pandemic. Government and many resort and hotels have invested millions of dollars into becoming gold standard ready, and the warning puts a damper on the potential inflows of the much-needed tourism dollar. Today, Tourism Minister Anthony Moller spoke about the concerns.
Stage 4 has been put on multiple destinations because COVID is rampant all throughout the world. So it's like everybody's compared to the same level, I think, other than Barbados. But this will definitely help us to deal with the crisis at hand. And when we talk to the counterparts at the USN, we'll say, here, we're putting these things in place. Let's have a discussion about those advisors. It puts us a step back, but we're working on getting past that.
Keith Gilges also chimed in on the CDC designation of COVID-19 levels in Belize. The Chargé d'Affaires says that the Center for Disease Control placed over 170 countries in that level 4 designation, including the United States.
They were looking globally at all countries that are either, level 1, level 2, medium, level 3, high, level 4, very high for health-related issues. And yes, so the CDC moved a whole bunch of countries, and I think it was a total of about 174 to the very high level. So Belize is in that category. So is the United States. Now, we don't formally have that designation, but certainly that's what it would be. For travel purposes, for the State Department, which is part of what I'm involved in fact, is still level 3. So we recommend folks to rethink travel, be aware of what the conditions are. It's tough. I mean, how do you balance the need to get the economy open and to get tourists and their money while at the same time protecting the public health of the community? And this is a tough call. And that's something that, the leadership of Belize is going to decide what's best for Belize.
Minister Mueller says that he and his team have been looking at the strategy to keep international tourists coming in, but strict COVID-19 protocols must remain in place to ensure the safety of the country and its visitors.
We have to be responsible as a nation. 82% of the calls coming into our 1-800 number is about COVID. What is the situation in Belize with regards to COVID? As a people, we have to be responsible. We have to social distance, or we have to wear a mask. We have to abide by the rules and regulations that we've set in place. So it is critical. It is critical that as a people, we do our part to curb the spread of COVID. And then when people feel that it is safe, you will see the numbers go up. It is a very fluid situation. We started with 2 flights a day, 1 flight, 2 flights. And in December and January, we were looking at 10, 15 flights a day already. But like I said, it's fluid. The spike in the US has created some issue for us as well, the spike in Belize. And so it's almost on a day-by-day basis that, yes, the flight is coming, no, the flight isn't coming, that type of thing.
The director of the Institute of Creative Arts, Greg Vernon, has stepped down from his post following the expiration of his contract with the National Institute of History and Culture at the end of September. Vernon has been a staple in Belize's arts and culture, both as a dancer and a choreographer with the Belize Dance Company. He was also an employee of the Belize Arts Council. Vernon has also served in the capacity of acting president of NICH. In the wake of Vernon's departure, NICH continues to restructure with an aim to reinvigorate the country's arts and culture industries. Tonight we take you to the Belize Zoo, where their newest and cutest little resident met the press. It's exciting news to share that the Belize Zoo now has an anteater after 10 years without one. They're now looking to set up a new exhibit in the coming months to show off the baby anteater to the public. But before they can do that, they need your help to get this little anteater ready to educate the public about its species. Here's that story.
There's a new little resident at the Belize Zoo. It's a baby anteater. This morning, we found him casually hanging on top of zookeeper Shania Longsworth's head.
He's comfortable up there, and we assume that it's because in the wild, that's how they cling to the mom. They will cling on, stay on, attached to the mom, and eventually they will leave as time goes by.
This little one was discovered abandoned on a farm in Duck Run Village. Zookeepers estimate that he may have only been about 4 days old when residents found him back in September.
He's very easy with people, and that's because people are all he knows. He was found in Duck Run in the Spanish Lookout area. They found him alone by himself, no mom in sight. And what they did was they kind of left him there for a little while to see if the mom would come back, which is usually the case. But in his case, the mom never came back. And we found out later that this is really common when it comes to first-time moms in this species, in the Tamanduá species. Mothers will usually abandon their firstborn.
And that's when the zoo stepped in to provide a safe home for this little anteater. It was a tiny bundle when it arrived, and now it weighs over 2 pounds. The zookeepers have been providing special care. Now it can no longer go back into the wild.
And we found him, he was only 270 grams, which is very small. He was about the size of my fist. And he still had his umbilical cord attached to him. So very young, we suspect maybe 4 days old, very, very young. And he imprinted on us. We have been hand rearing him. And so because of that, he can no longer be released back into the wild because all he knows is people. He doesn't know his natural predators or to be scared of human beings.
And this baby anteater has filled a void at the zoo. It has been 10 years since the zoo last had a resident anteater. As the only anteater at the zoo, it will take on an important role for its species.
So he's going to be our anteater ambassador. He's going to be our mascot, and he's going to teach people the important role he plays in the ecosystem. Tamanduas are usually, victimized. We see stories of people running them over or stoning them to death. They're not very understood animals, but as you can see here, he's very nice, very friendly.
And to give this baby anteater a chance at a long and productive life at the zoo, they've already identified an area to build an exhibit. But now they need the public's help to support their newest resident with its diet and a new home.
It could be in the form financially, it could be in the form of money, it can be in the form of material, things like fencing, anything that can help. His diet right now is mostly kitten milk replacer, and right now one of the issues we're having is it's very hard to find and it's very expensive, so we have been asking for donations.
This little anteater has a big personality, very energetic and friendly. Its unique features like the 4 large claws on its powerful forelimbs, 5 claws on its hind limbs, long snout and tongue, as well as its prehensile tail, all help it to survive as it grows older and transition to a diet of ants and termites. Zookeepers suspect that this baby anteater is a male, but that will be confirmed as it grows older. And so for now, it's also without a name, and the zoo wants you to help identify a fitting name for its newest ambassador. Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.
After the break, a generous donation to Belize emergency response teams.
We are here to help you. This message is brought to you by the National Women's Commission with funding from the Engender and Spotlight projects, with support from the Department of Youth Services.
At the Old Belize compound today, a container filled with $2 million worth of medical supplies was being offloaded and handed over to emergency first responders in Belize City, San Pedro, and Kekaukar. The donation was made possible through Project Cure and Young Professionals, two organizations out of the United States that have been working with the Rickley Response and Rescue Group out of San Pedro town. The donation will further assist in the response to COVID-19. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Today, a container filled with $2 million worth of medical supplies, including beds, equipment, and consumables, were handed over to the Belize Emergency Response Team, BERT. The supplies are donated by Project Cure and will be shared between several emergency healthcare organizations, including the KHMH and Rickley Response and Rescue in the Keys. BERT has been providing EMT services to the country for the past 22 years, and in many instances, they have been the first responders in terms of accidents and emergencies.
Today, the country of Belize is receiving a container of medical supplies that's going to help us improve our response to COVID-19. The container is valued about $1 million US, and you're seeing this donation today becoming a reality as a result of the partnership between BERT and RRR Air Evac. The container contains medical supplies that we will use in our accident and emergency units in San Pedro, Kekaukar, and we do intend to hand over some to KHMH as well. As you can see, we have a lot of beds. As you know, the beds in Belize are becoming in short supply, so this will help us be able to assist more patients going forward.
RRR Air Evac is also an emergency response provider that began in San Pedro more than 2 years ago, rescuing visitors and locals alike. Manager Mike Ruiz says that the donation was 2 years in the making, with support from Young Professionals organization out of Denver, Colorado, and Project Cure.
This container has been a blessing. It's been a coordinated effort with Project Cure, a group called the Young Professionals out of Denver, Colorado. They gathered up all the money, and last year RRR was able to work with Project Cure and put down $1 million of medical supplies into the Keys. At that time, we really didn't want to self-promote. We just kind of were quiet about it. But during this COVID pandemic, it's created a new international need and desire to share humanitarian efforts. And it's just very pleased to participate in the support of the Belizean government, the people of Belize, the Rotary Club, Belize Emergency Response Team, RRR, and everyone that has been a supporter of RRR Air Evac Emergency Response on the island of San Pedro.
On hand to receive the donation on behalf of the government of Belize was Tourism Minister Anthony Mala. He speaks on the importance of a robust emergency response team in the country, especially during these COVID times.
On behalf of the people of Belize, and the government of Belize, I would like to thank BERT, RRR, Air Evac, the Rotary, and Project Cure for all the work they're doing in Belize, and all the supplies that we've gotten today. It will go a long way, especially in this critical time of need. Like Mr. Carrillo said, and other speakers before, we have so much demand for medical supplies. COVID has created chaos around the world and in Belize, and we want to ensure that we can do what is necessary to take care of the Belizean people and who are in our country.
The United States Embassy donated over $35,000 worth of COVID-19 response equipment and supplies to Nemo on Monday. The donation package includes cleaning supplies such as bleach, garbage bags, mops, brooms, disinfectant spray, and hand sanitizers, as well as gloves, masks, gowns, and face shields. In the press release about the donation, Charge d'Affaires Keith Gilgis said, quote, "As the world continues to battle the threat of COVID-19 together, The United States is doing our part to help our Belizean friends and neighbors. These supplies will be used to reduce the spread of COVID-19 in Belize. We remain deeply committed to supporting organizations like NEMO in their efforts to deliver timely assistance to the people of Belize in emergencies, including those created by the COVID-19 pandemic." Unquote. The new president-elect of the United States, Joe Biden, was confirmed on Monday and will officially be sworn in on January 20th. Keith Gilgis of the U.S. Embassy was asked about the priorities moving into this new term of office. He says that despite a new administration, the relationship between both countries remains the same.
In my role as Charge d'Affaires, we work on building the partnership between Belize and the United States. And no matter who's in charge in Belize or who's in charge in the United States, that relationship is going to stay the same. Now, an incoming administration may have certain areas that they give more emphasis to, but it's not going to be a wholesale change. There might be some areas that they say, hey, we pay a bit more attention to this than to that. And listen, I will take my instructions from Washington. And if they say we want to focus on some different areas, we can. But it's a matter of focus. It's not shifting everything entirely. Our relationship between the United States and Belize has been around for a long time. It's going to continue, and it's a great relationship.
When we come back, National Gas Company partners with IDB for foreign direct investment.
We've all been afraid of. The end result is suffering and a horrible death. Please, do not let a couple of hours of fun cause a lifetime of mourning and pain. Practice social distancing, wash hands often, and wear your mask properly. Staying home this Christmas will ensure many more with your loved ones in the years to come. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
If we are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us, then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something. The Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. We are stronger together. The Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Ray, what's wrong? It's him. He hit me again. Oh my gosh. This time it was worse. He slammed my face in the wall and threatened to kill me. If you or someone you know is experiencing family violence, call 0800-WAY-OUT. Or you can text or WhatsApp to 672-9628. This message is brought to you by the National Women's Commission, funding from The Engender and Spotlight Projects.
Actualmente, el virus de COVID-19 en el país sigue siendo una amenaza. Debido a que el virus nos necesita para propagarse de una persona a otra, podemos evitar que infecte a otros si practicamos el distanciamiento físico. Eso significa, manténgase al menos a 6 pies de distancia de otras personas. Evite el contacto físico. No se salude con besos, abrazos ni de mano. No se reúna en grupos grandes. Quédese en casa cuando los oficiales de la salud así lo indiquen. Utilice los medios sociales o el teléfono para comunicarse con los amigos. Evite los espacios cerrados y las áreas con mucha gente. Trabaje desde casa si puede. No visite a nadie que esté enfermo, en cuarentena o en aislamiento. Mejor, llámelos por teléfono. Protejamos nuestra salud.
Currently, we're using Smart Elite Vibe Calling Plan. We use it interbranch
We use it to call outside, and we also use it to call international. It's far cheaper than what we used to have before. Our equipment are new, PBX box is new. So the PBX is very good because I can call to my Sartaneja branch, I can call to my Kikaker branch, I can call to San Pedro branch, and there's no cost using the PBS. Actually right now, since we're in different locations, I can call main office from where I am at a no cost using the PBX system. I would recommend it, sure I would, especially the big enterprises who has a lot of employees. There's a lot of reduction in costs, 50% of saving. But that on a year, it's a lot of money that we're saving. Money that we could return to our members since we give back dividend to our members.
Visit our showroom or call 670-6710 to find out how Smart's corporate plan and PBX systems can benefit your business. Consultation is free.
The National Gas Company began its operations back in May and has since been providing Belize with liquefied petroleum gas as the country's sole importer. The private-public partnership was met with strong objections from other importers whose license to haul LPG over land from Honduras to Belize had come to an end. Notwithstanding the protest that was subsequently mounted, the NGC has been able to attract foreign direct investment via a $6 million loan from IDB Invest, a member of the IDB Group. Those monies will be used for the construction, operation, and maintenance of a marine terminal at the port of Big Creek. The terminal and storage facility will be able to store 1.6 million gallons of LPG products received directly from the U.S. Gulf Coast. Daniel Gutierrez is the spokesperson for NGC.
It is able to store around 1.6 million gallons of liquefied petroleum gas. That is more than a monthly consumption for the country of Belize. At the port of Big Creek, when the LPG lands, it is quality checked by an independent third party whose job it is around the world really to measure the quality of oil and gas products. The government of Belize is a part of the quality process and also a part of the transparency that is brought to prices, because the government knows exactly what the LPG is acquired for in the US Gulf Coast so far, and the entire process as it lands in Belize and then through to the Belizean consumer. So, as you correctly said, the operation started in May of this year, and the sale to the Belizean public started thereafter. The last bit of information coming out of NGC is the fact that now the Hemisphere's premier financing institution, the Inter-American Development Bank, has joined the NGC financing mechanism. The Inter-American Development Bank has decided to come on board because they saw the need that Belize has had historically for energy security. In the past, LPG would be trucked overland from distant ports in Central America. We just all saw what happened. I mean, the roads in Guatemala, in Honduras, in El Salvador, in Nicaragua were decimated because of climate change related weather phenomena. That is not going to stop, and unfortunately, Isani, that is something that may be with us for some time. We do not wish it, but it is the case. So to protect us against that was one of the reasons that NGC and the National Marine Terminal of its own was necessary for the country of Belize. So that's one reason.
The issue of fluctuating butane prices, despite a single importer in operation, was also addressed by the NGC spokesperson. According to Gutierrez, the cost of purchasing butane has been considerably reduced since the company took over in May.
Facts are stubborn things. And the fact is that since the beginning of the operations in May, when you compare the prices of LPG imported by NGC and what was happening in the past, the price of LPG is actually lower. It is in some cases a lot lower, sometimes over $20 for the 100-pound cylinder, lower when you take a look at just what's offered at the retail level. So clearly, like I said before, facts are stubborn things. The fact is that the price of LPG is lower now that NGC is importing it. How that is passed on to the consumer is a matter for the Belize Bureau of Standards and a matter between them and the retailers. That is not NGC. NGC's job, the promise of NGC, was to take a bulk commodity, bring it to Belize, and lower the price as it is landed to Belize. That has been accomplished. And that is uncontrovertible. That is clear. So I would say to the Belizean public that the promise of NGC to use bulk prices to land LPG to the country of Belize lower, that has been accomplished.
The Belize People Movement, through the support of the Embassy of Switzerland to Mexico and Belize, has launched a domestic violence law project. And to kickstart the project, they have published a domestic violence awareness book called Woman, Know Your Rights. Founder and director of Belize People Movement, Dorla Bowman, says that the book will be used to educate the public about Belize's domestic violence laws, with a special emphasis on schools. Here's more from today's virtual launch of the book.
Our latest production is the creation of a book with a powerful play that speaks to the dynamics of domestic violence. The play simplifies the domestic violence laws that Belize Women Against Violence movement drafted and fought for, and the domestic violence protocols that Building People movement wrote in a simple, easy to read and understand language. I am happy to have been able to bring to life the creation of our newest production, educational tool regarding domestic violence, in the form of a Belizean written play about Belizean domestic violence realities. This book, Women, Know Your Rights, will be distributed countrywide. We all must know the laws, use the laws, and implement the laws. Your help is needed in educating the public. Therefore, we encourage you to use this Belizean play in your women's group, youth groups, school drama classes, and Festival of Arts drama presentations.
Belize People Movement will be airing the live dramatization of the play across multiple mediums, and you can find out more information from the Belize People Movement Facebook page. Coming up after the break, Christmas at the Welcome Resource Center.
In these challenging times, the one thing that is certain is that the Belize Bank Limited is here for you. There is nothing more important than your health and safety, and we continue to make every effort to make banking safer for you. Our staff is working around the clock to make sure you can do your banking conveniently 24/7 using our mobile banking app and online banking, and keeping ATMs up and running. We value your relationship with us and are here to provide the support you need. First responders are also out there 24/7. Thank you, healthcare workers, security forces, firefighters, caregivers. You are all appreciated. Stay safe. We will get through this together. The Belize Bank, our country, your bank.
Every day, young persons are infecting older and high-risk family members and friends with the COVID-19 virus. This Christmas could become the super spreader event we've all been afraid of. The end result is suffering and a horrible death. Please, do not let a couple of hours of fun cause a lifetime of mourning and pain. Practice social distancing. Wash hands often and wear your mask properly. Staying home this Christmas will ensure many more with your loved ones in the years to come. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Why, Tony?
Boy, kid, what you going on, man?
We actually can see we can need to buy a stack of them plastic plates and cups from the grocery shop because they run low.
Boy, I stopped importing things since April 15th, you know. And I just ran out to the last batch, must have about like 3 weeks back, you know.
Man, do I usually have anything? What are you going on?
Check this, right? Under the new law, we ban all single-use plastics, so that the cups, plates, forks, spoons, and knives, all of that. Since April 15th, can't import none of them. Starting January 15, 2021, you can't manufacture them. April 15, 2021, you can't sell them. And after July 14, 2021, if you get catch with any other thing, you will get fined.
Me never know this. I guess I have to make some changes then. I have to make the customers know that anything not available. Anyways, bro. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. Take care.
Smart got you this December with the We Kinda Christmas promotion. Starting December 4th, you can avoid the rush and be safe while visiting our showrooms to get these one-of-a-kind deals.
Devices start as low as $70 with the Evo Star Mobile. Other devices like the Nokia 2V for just $165, the Motorola E6 for only $235, and Samsung A51 for $675. Check this out. The first 10 persons to purchase any of our iPhone 7s get 50% off that device. Each device comes with 50 SMS, $10 promo credit, plus 2 gigabytes of data, all for free.
Looking for tablets? Then take advantage of the Amazon Kindle 8-inch for $155. Or get a Samsung Tab A10.
All phones come with a starter pack, free SMS, credit and data, plus an extra Christmas treat of 2 gigabytes data, a package valued at over $27 for free.
Now this, that's We Kinda prices. And you can only get them at Smart.
Today, the Welcome Resource Center held its annual Christmas program for 36 of its participants. The guests are the homeless, the mentally ill, as well as the elderly that the center caters to all year round. Despite the challenges brought on by COVID-19, Administrator of the center, Joyce Ellis, says it was still important that they spread love this holiday season for these vulnerable groups. Ellis tells us more about how they carried out their activities while observing the health and safety regulations.
We did play a few games that had to do with social distancing. We read Christmas stories, had them answer questions, asked them to put an end to a story and things like that. That's what we did, but it was the same sort of overwhelming gifts that they receive, and even more this year. I must say the center is blessed because we have been getting several donations from different individuals and organizations to help us to make this Christmas activity possible. It was a very touching day for us because for the first time since I was here, since 7 years, I actually saw my participants come to tears because of the love that we are pouring out to them. In their package, they have a food hamper that has in milk, cornflakes, bread, bun, cheese, sausage, soda biscuit. That's the food hamper. And then they have a hygiene bag that has their toilet paper, deodorant, soap, hand sanitizers, masks, and also lotion. They also got a goodies bag, 2 goodies bags per se, with the normal Christmas goodies, apples, grapes, candy canes, chocolates. And they got that traditional turkey dinner, ham, turkey, stuffings, and their cakes, the full works, and a drink. Beside those stuff that they got, we play games and they get additional things that they could actually use for themselves. This year we focus mostly on personal items, especially in relation to hygiene, and then we also gave them the night of or homeless shirts. So they all were wearing the white World Mental Health Day shirt. It was a gift from the Mental Health Association and the Resource Center to our participants, just to say thank you for allowing us to serve you.
The Welcome Resource Center annual Christmas cheer is for its participants, and it was made possible through the support of Belize Electricity Limited, Belize City Council, Lake Eye Area Representative Cordell Hyde, Mask On, the Lions and Leo's Club, Go Belize, and 88ish, which is the class of 1988 from Queen Square Anglican. Chargé d'Affaires of the U.S. Embassy in Belize, Keith Gilgis, left the Jewel today en route to Tennessee to spend the Christmas holidays with his family. Upon arrival, he goes into isolation for several days before he gets to physically join his family. On Tuesday, when we caught up with Gilgis, he sent best wishes but cautioned Belizeans to be responsible during these COVID times.
We all want to get together with family and friends. In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow to go up to the States to see family and friends. But man, we got to be careful. I mean, seeing the rise in cases here in Belize is a concern for everybody. You know, our condolences to Dito Vega's family on his passing. So we need to do our part. We want to be joyous. We want to enjoy this season, but we've got to do it thinking about the social distancing, thinking about trying to keep those folks who are particularly vulnerable to disease safe. I do wish everybody in Belize a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. I look forward to a 2021 that's healthier, that's more prosperous. We get the tourists back, we get the economy going again, because I know a lot of people are struggling at this time.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in text at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at News 5 Live. I'm Marlene Cuellar. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your distance, and stay safe. Good night.